A young girl walking home from school found a small pile of Polaroid photos lying in the gutter. There were 20 in all, neatly wrapped in a rubber band. She picked them up, and as she walked, she started to browse. The first photo was that of a ghostly white man on a black background, standing just far enough away from the camera that she couldn't quite make out his features. The girl slid the photo to the back of the stack and looked at the next one. The photo was of the same man, now standing a bit closer. The girl flipped through the next several photos quickly. With each one, the man in the picture came a bit closer, and his features were a bit clearer. Turning the last corner to her house, the girl noticed that the man in the photos seemed to be looking at her even when she moved the stack from side to side. It frightened her, but she kept flipping through them one by one. By the 19th picture, the man was so close his face completely filled the frame. His expression was the most horrifying the girl had ever seen. Walking up the driveway, she turned to the last photo. This time, instead of an image, there were 2 words. Close enough. Hearing a scream outside their house, the girl's brother rushed to the door and opened it. All he saw was a pile of photographs lying on the doorstep. The top one looked like an extremely pale version of his sister, but she was standing too far back for him to be sure. There is a small island in the Mediterranean Sea that does not appear on any map. It cannot be seen from any other island, nor can any other land be seen from it. On this island is a lighthouse, rotting from age and seawater, which is never lit. There is nothing inside it save for a spiraling staircase that leads to the top, and an ancient, dusty bookcase. The case is filled with unmarked books, bound in ancient leather, save for a single space. If you remove a book from the shelf, it will fling itself open in your hands, and the words inscribed in it shall start screaming to the air. You must wrestle the book closed and shove it back on the shelf, or the immortal evil contained within its pages shall break free, and you will be forced to take its place, with pages, ink, and binding crafted from your own flesh and blood. However, if you bring the correct book to the island and place it in the empty space, the lighthouse will light. As long as it is lit, the world shall enjoy an unending paradise, for all the evil in the world will be contained within the lighthouse. And while it is lit, nothing can go in or out. The only problem: you will be trapped for eternity with all the evil ever known or conceived by man or God. And the only way out is to douse the light. You are home alone, and you hear on the news about the profile of a murderer who is on the loose. You look out the sliding glass doors to your backyard, and you notice a man standing out in the snow. He fits the profile of the murderer exactly, and he is smiling at you. You gulp, picking up the phone to your right and dialing 911. You look back out the glass as you press the phone to your ear, and notice he is much closer to you in the snow. You then drop the phone in shock. There are no footprints in the snow. It's his reflection. In 1962, the popular crayon manufacturer Crayola was forced to change the name of its flesh color to peach. Many people believe that this was a response to the civil rights movement, but that is only partially true. In reality, Crayola was running out of skin donors. A Difchil is a parasite, a microscopic abomination that enters your body, usually through your tear ducts or debris from your eyelashes. It'll work its way around your eyeball to your retina and latch on. Using its tendrils, it siphons information from your brain. It recognizes the different impulses buzzing within your consciousness. It will know everything you wish to be, everything you hate, and everything you are afraid of. First, it blocks out the positive impulses, making you seem more disillusioned than usual with the world. You may feel a little tired and drained, but you'll probably just dismiss it as stress. Maybe take a few painkillers. You've had that headache for a while now. But then you start having thoughts you never thought you'd have. You never think you'd ever want to see your father strung up from his intestines on a door frame. Surely you've had your differences, but you've never wanted to hurt him. But you've just thought about it. You saw it in your mind. And you liked it. The parasite amplifies your fears and projects them into everyday life. Say you hated the sight of spiders. You wake up one morning to find one on your pillow in your favorite coffee mug, crawling along your girlfriend's face as you move in to kiss her. Yet when you swipe to get it off, it's like it was never there. You smack your girlfriend in the face to get it off, and it felt good to get it, because you hate spiders, right? Soon the parasite will manipulate you, destroy the things and people you love most, because it knows it can make you without even knowing it's controlling you. To others, you become cruel, bitter, and twisted, alone. A murderer? Since when? There's a reason people tell you not to rub your eyes, you know. When I was a child, I lived alone in a rented 2-floor house. Both of my parents worked, so I was often alone when I came home from school. One early evening, when I came home, the house was still dark. I called out, "Mom?" And I heard a voice say, "Yes?" from upstairs. I called my mom again, and I got the same, "Yes?" I felt she was calling back at me, and I climbed up the stairs. When I reached the first floor, I called her once more, and the voice came from the furthest room. "Yes?" I felt both uneasy, but a strong urge to see my mother, and I started to walk towards the room. But just that moment, I heard the front door downstairs open, and my mother came in, carrying a lot of shopping bags. "Sweetie, are you home?" My mother called in a cheery voice. Hearing her voice made me feel instantly better, and I turned back downstairs at once. But not before I had a quick glance towards the room. While I watched from the top of the stairs, the door to the room slowly opened a crack. For a brief moment, I saw something strange in there. A pale face staring at me. "Daddy, I had a bad dream." You blink your eyes and pull up on your elbows. Your clock glows red in the darkness. It's 3:23 a.m. "Do you want to climb in bed and tell me about it?" "No, Daddy." The oddness of the situation wakes you up more fully. You can barely make out your daughter's pale form in the darkness of the room. "Why not, sweetie?" "Because in my dream, when I told you about the dream, the thing wearing Mommy's skin sat up." For a moment you feel paralyzed. You can't take your eyes off your daughter. The covers beside you begin to shift.